That's awesome. I was laughing, and I was looking something up. I'm in the process of creating a course, how to land your first job in tech. And so I've been looking at a lot of like statistics and things like that. And it says it was under millennials. There was just this statistic that made me laugh so hard. It said that how do people succeed in a in-person interview? It said body odor turns off 56% of recruiters. And I'm like put some deodorant on. Come on, man. Like smell good. Like at least be
Yeah.
a good human. Other than just a good tech person, be a good human first, and then work on your tech skills. But
Right, and sometimes it's hard.
so
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes candidates are going, especially during when it was in-person interviews. Now, not so much in-person interviews are
that's
happening.
true.
But if you're going from a position where you worked a full day and it's just say 3 or 4:30 at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're going from that
Hmm.
position where you've worked all day and you're going to an interview from there, you probably aren't smelling the
That's
best
true.
by that point.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
what you may want to do is ask for an early morning interview, or if it is a mid afternoon or late afternoon interview, take the day off. And so,
Yeah.
just to help make sure you're in a good presence of mind, not just emotionally, but also physically and all that,
Yeah.
so you can present yourself in the best light possible.
Yeah. That just made me laugh, man. I'm like, oh, I didn't know, like but maybe I should cover this in the course, like hygiene before.
No,
I don't know.
believe it or no, you
Yeah.
should. As I guess as simplistic as that sounds, and human nature, you don't think you should have to mention that. There's some people that just don't know how to account for it. And then, like I said, I went in interviews and I showered beforehand and I put and then I just started sweating. I just have a sweat
Yeah.
condition that when I
Yeah.
go
You're
into an
nervous.
interview,
Yeah.
exactly. And so sometimes that may bring out some additional odor that you weren't expecting.
I'm with you, man. It's funny because I help interview people now, right, for our
Right.
company, and I'm amazed at how casual people are on interviews as far as because we're not really doing a ton of phone screens. A lot of them are probably Zoom, especially in the tech world.
Right.
And so, man, I've had people like I'm laying down on the bed with them, on their laptop, like they have all this clothes and just stuff in their bed. And I'm just laying down. They're just laying down, talking to me, and I'm like, at least like or like I don't know, I can't think of like all the crazy stuff but like I've just seen a couple people where I'm like they didn't like do their hair, they're just kind of woke up and just threw on, and I'm like, and as much as that shouldn't like probably affect your interview, but like, at the same time you're like, if you get on a call with one of our customers, and you don't think that like you laying on your bed like with clothes like bundled up in the corner like is a big deal, like that's scary.
It's like, where's the professionalism? And it's
Right.
funny. We had someone about 2 weeks ago decided to light up a cigarette during the interview. And I was like, oh, Lord. He didn't get a position. And just, I thought I've
Yeah.
heard it all. And that was by far
The new
something
one.
that kind of, something that I've never heard of before. But yes, even with Zoom and getting a little bit more intimate or being a little bit more casual with the interview process, to me, the interview was one of the most formal pieces of the process that you can be. And I still think about wearing a suit and making sure you're dressed for success. And I'm an old school kind of guy. And so that's just kind of my way of being raised and the way that I've had success
Right.
in my career. And I think you can't, it's going
Yeah.
to do more good than bad, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to tell people like, hey, instead of asking like how little can I dress up and get away with it, ask like how fancy can I dress up
That's
and
right.
get away
That's
with it.
right.
But
That's
I think
right.
that's it's way better to lean on that side than it is than the other side where you're like, oh, if they're gonna wear jeans and t-shirt, like that doesn't mean you should as the interviewer. You're trying to make a good impression.
That's right. You should be at least one step ahead of above who's interviewing you. And a lot of times I
Right.
would go in and say, "Hey, Josh, I was planning to wear a suit today. But do you think that's appropriate?" And asking the
Hmm.
question, and they may say, "No, Chris, we're a little more casual here. A suit coat is fine. Don't worry about a tie or a three-piece suit or whatever the case may be." And
Right.
so I think it shows a little bit more due diligence on your side because you're asking the question and being upfront with them, and hopefully that doesn't turn them off as far as you asking that. And then if you don't feel comfortable asking, then again, just wear a suit and be done with it just to get the point
Just
across.
yeah, make it happen.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's awesome, man.